You know what's ironic? Most men think they struggle with attraction, when in reality, they've been missing it the whole time. Because women rarely make attraction obvious. They don't walk up and say, "I like you." They don't make it easy. Instead, they reveal it in ways that are subtle, controlled, and sometimes even confusing. And if you don't know what to look for, you'll misread everything. You'll think she's just being nice, when she's actually interested. Or worse, you'll think she's interested when she's just being polite. So today, I'm going to show you 6 hidden signs women find you attractive, even if you don't realize it. And pay attention, because the last one, it's the most dangerous, and the one most men completely misunderstand. Before we dive deeper, a quick message. If you've been learning from my videos and you want to support this work, you can subscribe to me on Facebook with a paid membership, send stars, or join my YouTube channel's paid community. Your support helps me create more powerful content for you, and I truly appreciate every bit of it. All right, now let's continue. Sign number 1, she gives you selective attention. Let's start simple, but don't underestimate this one. A woman who finds you attractive doesn't treat you like everyone else. Even if she tries to act normal, there's a difference. She listens more closely to you, remembers small details you mentioned casually, responds differently to your jokes, even when they're not that funny. And here's the key part. She might ignore other people in the room, but somehow, her attention keeps coming back to you. Now here's the mini twist. She may not even realize she's doing it, because attraction shifts focus automatically. Think about it from your own experience. When you're interested in someone, you just notice them more. Their voice cuts through background noise. Their name catches your ear across a room. It's not a choice, it's wiring. And the same thing happens for women. So if she remembers the name of your dog, the thing you mentioned once about your job, the detail you threw out casually in conversation 2 weeks ago, that's not just a good memory, that's selective storage. She kept it because you matter. But wait. This alone isn't enough, because some women are naturally attentive. So how do you know it's attraction? Watch this. What she does after giving you attention is what reveals everything. Does she hold your eye contact a beat too long? Does she turn her body toward you when she laughs? Does she find small ways to keep the conversation going when she could have easily let it end? Those aren't accidents. Those are answers. Sign number 2. She creates accidental opportunities to interact. This one is subtle, almost invisible if you're not paying attention. She might ask you something she could have easily Googled. She might come up with small reasons to talk to you. She might linger a little longer than necessary, and it feels casual, natural, unplanned. But it's not. Because when a woman is attracted to you, she looks for ways to stay in your orbit, without making it obvious. And here's where most men mess up. They assume it's coincidence. It's not. Attraction creates proximity. She's not showing up in your space by accident. She's engineering small moments, because being near you feels good to her, and she'll do it in the most low-risk ways possible. A question she didn't really need answered, a comment that didn't really need to be made, a reason to be in the same room, at the same time, just close enough to see what happens. Here's the thing most men don't realize. Women are careful with their pride. They don't want to be obvious. They don't want to be rejected. So instead of walking up and saying what they feel, they create situations. They manufacture moments. They give you the opportunity to meet them halfway. And if you're not paying attention, you miss it entirely. You call it a coincidence. You move on, and she quietly wonders why you didn't notice. But here's where it gets confusing, because sometimes she'll do the exact opposite. Sign number 3. She pulls back, then comes back again. This one drives men crazy. One day she's warm, engaged, interested. The next, distant, quiet, less responsive. And you start thinking, did I do something wrong? Maybe, but maybe not. Because sometimes, this isn't disinterest, it's internal conflict. When a woman feels attraction, especially strong attraction, it can make her feel vulnerable, so she pulls back. Not to leave, but to regain control. And if she comes back again, re-engages, starts the conversation later, that's your sign. She didn't lose interest. She just needed space to process it. Here's the psychology behind it. Attraction is not a comfortable feeling in the beginning. It's exposing. It means someone has the potential to hurt you. And some women, especially emotionally aware ones, feel that weight immediately. So they retreat, not permanently, just long enough to collect themselves. And then they come back, because the pull is stronger than the fear. The mistake most men make? They see the distance, and they assume it's rejection. So they either chase too hard or disappear entirely. Both responses are wrong. The right move? Stay steady. Don't panic. Don't flood her with messages. Don't vanish either. Just remain calm, available, unbothered, because a woman testing her own feelings needs to know you can handle the uncertainty. If you can, she comes back with more trust than she left with. But here's where most men fail. They panic during the distance. And in doing that, they ruin what was already building. Sign number 4. She mirrors you without realizing. This is pure psychology. When someone feels connected to you, they start syncing with you. Your tone, your pace, your body language, even your words. If you lean back, she leans back. If you speak slower, she adjusts. And it's not intentional. It's subconscious alignment. Psychologists call this mirroring, and it happens automatically between people who feel emotionally in sync. Think about your closest friendships, the people you feel most comfortable with. You probably match their energy without thinking about it. You laugh at the same pace. You fall into similar speech patterns. That's not coincidence. That's connection expressing itself physically. Now here's the deeper layer. People don't mirror people they don't like. So if she's subtly matching your energy, that's attraction. And once you know what to look for, you'll start catching it everywhere. She picks up your phrase and uses it later in conversation. She starts speaking at your pace without realizing. She crosses her arms right after you do. She laughs when you laugh, even before she fully understands the joke. These are not small things. These are her nervous system, trying to get closer to yours. But the next sign? This is where things get really interesting, because it looks like rejection, but it's not. Sign number 5. She teases you, slightly challenges you. A woman who feels nothing for you will keep things neutral, safe, predictable. But a woman who's attracted, she pokes, teases, challenges you just a little, not to push you away, but to see how you respond. Because she's asking, is this guy confident or easily shaken? And here's the mistake most men make. They take it personally, they get defensive, and just like that, they fail the test. Because the right response is calm, playful, unbothered. That's what keeps her engaged. Here's why this sign matters so much. Teasing requires investment. Think about it. You don't playfully challenge someone you don't care about. You don't bother testing someone who doesn't matter to you. When she teases you, she's actually paying you a compliment. She's saying, I'm interested enough to want to know how you handle this. She wants to see your edges. She wants to know if you have confidence underneath the surface, or if you crumble the moment someone presses you. And the men who understand this, they lean into it. They smile. They give it right back. Not aggressively, not defensively, just lightly. Like someone who's comfortable enough in their own skin to find it fun. That response alone can shift everything, because she's not looking for a man who never gets challenged. She's looking for a man who doesn't collapse when he is. Now we get to the final one, and this is the one most men completely misread. Sign number 6. She feels comfortable being quiet around you. This one is powerful, but very easy to miss. When a woman is not interested, she fills silence or leaves. But when she's comfortable with you, she can sit in silence without feeling awkward. No pressure to impress, no need to perform, just presence. And that level of comfort doesn't come easily. It comes from trust, from emotional ease, from attraction that's gone deeper than surface level. Here's something most people don't think about. Silence is one of the most vulnerable things two people can share. When conversation stops, there's nowhere to hide. No words to fill the space. No performance to hide behind. Just two people and the energy between them. A woman who doesn't feel safe with you will never let that happen naturally. She'll find reasons to leave. She'll keep talking to avoid the quiet. She'll check her phone. But a woman who trusts you, she'll let the silence exist. She might even close her eyes, exhale slowly. Stay, because being near you feels like rest. And men who understand this never rush to fill the silence either. They let it breathe. They stay grounded in it. Because they know that a comfortable silence between two people says more than most conversations ever could. It says, I don't need to perform for you. I feel safe being still with you. This is enough. And if she's giving you that, don't take it lightly. What all 6 signs have in common. Now let's zoom out for a second, because if you look at all 6 of these signs, there's a thread running through every single one. None of them are loud. None of them are obvious. She's not handing you a card that says, I like you, here's the proof. Instead, every sign is quiet, controlled, easy to miss, and that's intentional. Because a woman who reveals too much too soon loses power, loses safety, becomes vulnerable in a way that feels risky. So she reveals it in layers, in small moments, in behavior rather than words. And the men who can read those layers don't have to guess. They don't have to wonder, they just see. Why most men miss these signs. Let me be direct with you. Most men miss these signals not because they're not smart, but because they're looking in the wrong places. They're waiting for something obvious, something unmistakable, a declaration, a clear move, an undeniable signal. But that's not how women communicate attraction. Women communicate attraction the way they experience it, emotionally, subtly, through behavior rather than announcements. And until a man learns to read behavior, he'll keep missing it. He'll walk away from conversations thinking she wasn't interested, not realizing she gave him 6 signals in 20 minutes. He'll confuse her pulling back with rejection, not understanding it was actually a sign she cared too much to be careless. He'll sit in the silence feeling uncomfortable, instead of recognizing it as the most intimate thing she gave him all night. This is why awareness matters more than technique. You don't need better lines. You don't need a new approach. You need to learn how to actually see what's in front of you, because the signals are already there. They've probably always been there. You just didn't know what you were looking at. What to do when you spot these signs. So let's say you notice one, or 2, or several. What do you actually do? Here's the answer most people don't give you. Don't react immediately. That might sound counterintuitive, but hear me out. The moment you overreact to a signal, you break the spell. If she gives you selective attention, and you suddenly become overly eager, she pulls back. If she creates a reason to talk to you, and you jump at it too obviously, the naturalness disappears. The key is to acknowledge it, without making it a big moment. Match her energy. Stay calm. Let things unfold at their own pace, because attraction is a slow burn, not a spark you grab at. The men who understand these signals don't use them to pounce. They use them to stay present, to keep showing up, to keep being the version of themselves she's already responding to. That's the move, not reaction, continuation. Final layer. So now you see it. Attraction isn't always loud. It's not always obvious. Sometimes it's hidden in attention, in proximity, in silence, in small shifts you barely notice. And the reason most men miss it? They're looking for clear signals, instead of understanding subtle behavior. But once you start noticing these patterns, everything changes. You stop guessing, you stop overthinking, and you start seeing what's actually there. So next time you're around a woman, pay attention, not to what she says, but to what she does without thinking, because that's where the truth is. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you want to understand female psychology on a deeper level, check out the other videos on this channel, because once you start seeing these patterns, you can't unsee them. Now tell me, which of these signs have you been missing all this time?